certainly a limit to what I will do and then won't do, and I know my boundaries a lot better now of what they are.
But how did you feel when, and Nick Cave essentially is a fairly private person at heart as well, how did you feel when the Boatman's Call came out and he did make such a sort of a public statement about the relationship that you two had? I mean, was that irksome for you to have something come out into the open?
It was a very strange time, obviously. It's not an album that I can even listen to very easily now. But, you know, I could kind of surpass that. I'm a huge fan of Nick's writing. I think he's an extraordinary songwriter and just seems to get better and better. And for me to hear that album, I just thought it was some of the best songs that he's ever written. So as a songwriter, I could listen to it and think that's really amazing. That's just fantastic. I was very inspired by it. At the same time, it's a very moving album and one that, you know, does open me up if I listen to. So I don't actually listen to it that often.
Yeah, it must be a shame, isn't it, that you can't sort of enjoy a piece of work like that because it's obviously too close to the bone.
Yeah, I mean, I hope there'll be a time where I can play it, but, you know, still now I do find it very difficult.
It is a beautiful record, though.
I think it's, yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to the next record. Mick Harvey's been telling me it's great, so I'm looking forward to that. And I know Nick's life has changed a lot, and I'm sure he's got a lot more things to write about these days.
But it didn't mean a total break in communication between you two?
Unfortunately, yes. I mean, for a while we continued to keep contact, but it seemed to have drifted apart these days. You know, we lead very different lives. Nick has a family now, and it's a very different set of circumstances. But, you know, I've got a huge amount of respect for him and love, and always will have.
Getting back to the album, do you think that there's a kind of a theme running through these tracks? Because I feel like, in a way, that you're more mature with the songwriting and the viewpoint, not necessarily in the way the songs are constructed, but just the outlook on life, more philosophical maybe or something.
Yeah, I mean, I do find that as I get older, I seem to develop a better sense of perspective, really, a better sense of being one small part of the world instead of it revolving around you, and getting to see a bit more into other people's lives, and that everybody's struggle is the same, really, no matter what you do or what kind of level you're working at. We all deal with the same hardships, really.
I think that's really important for an artist to know that. A lot of them don't, though.
I think a lot of people can get quite lost, you know, and carried away with the whole kind of star thing. But I've never chosen to go that path, and I never do want to. You know, I've always kept my feet on the ground and kept quite realistic about life, I think.
It's a wonderfully well-rounded album. You must be incredibly happy with the responses that it's had from right around the world. It's got great reviews, and the audiences at the performances here in Australia have obviously been very appreciative that you finally come to Australia. You're surely not going to leave it another 5 albums before you come back here, I hope.
Definitely not. Now I've got here, I absolutely love it, and I think I'll want to come back very soon. I have been thinking I'd really like to come back and spend some time here, you know, spend a few months here and actually do some writing as well.
Well, you get to hit Melbourne, so maybe that might be the place you might find
home for a while. I'm pretty sold on Sydney right now.
Well, I'm going to play an impartial judge because obviously I've been living in Sydney all my life, but Melbourne's got a lot of great qualities to it, and I think you'll find a good time there as well.
Yeah, well, Mick Harvey's in Melbourne, so I might have to go there.
Yeah, that was a treat to see him on stage the other night.
Oh, it's the first time we played with him.
I heard you say that, and I can't believe that.
Yeah, because, I mean, obviously he played on the record, but it was the first time for me to hear the songs live with him playing the parts, because he played the drums on the songs that he was playing on, and the bass, and he's got such a lot of charisma, and he's such an astounding player. It's great to have him.
And he can pick up, as you've said before, he can pick up anything, and that's the thing that
within seconds he can play anything. You know, he came in, he hadn't rehearsed those songs since the album, which we made in April. He just came on and just played them just like that, and he really is a genius.